Officer Robert Hale had always prided himself on upholding the law, even when it came to his own family. He was known in his community for being a man of principle, a cop who believed that justice must be served no matter the circumstances. But one day, his unwavering commitment to the law led him to a heart-wrenching decision, arresting his teenage son, Adam, for not making a life-changing decision. Before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. Adam Hale was an average 17-year-old, facing the pressures of school, friends, and planning for the future. But when the time came to decide on his path after high school, Adam found himself paralyzed by indecision. His reluctance concerned his father, who feared that without direction, his son might fall into trouble. As weeks passed, Robert's concern grew. He'd seen too many young lives ruined by bad choices, or worse, by making no choices at all. The thought of his son becoming another statistic kept him awake at night. The teen resisted every suggestion, shrugging off the future like it was someone else's problem. Robert felt helpless, but he wasn't ready to give up. After countless conversations that led nowhere, Robert decided to take a more drastic approach. He gave Adam an ultimatum: decide on a plan for your future by the end of the week or face the consequences. Adam, stubborn as ever, refused to be pressured. He was tired of feeling cornered and didn't believe his father would follow through with his threats. But Robert wasn't bluffing. As the deadline approached, tension in the Hale household reached a boiling point. The standoff between father and son was palpable. Adam's refusal to make a decision became an act of defiance. Robert knew he had to do something to snap his son out of it. But the solution he came up with shocked everyone, including himself. When Friday arrived, and Adam still hadn't made a decision, Robert did the unthinkable. He arrested his own son. The charge? Reckless endangerment of his future. It wasn't a real crime, of course, but Robert wanted to make a point. He handcuffed Adam in front of his shocked wife and led him to the police station. The community was stunned when they learned what had happened. Word of Adam's arrest spread quickly through their small town. Some saw Robert's actions as a desperate cry for help, a father's last-ditch effort to save his son. Others were outraged, accusing Robert of abusing his power and crossing a line that should never have been crossed. The local media picked up the story, painting a picture of a family in crisis. Adam felt humiliated and betrayed. The arrest was more than just a wake-up call, it was a public shaming. At the station, he sat in a holding cell, his mind racing with anger and confusion. How could his own father do this to him? Adam's mother, Sarah Hale, was devastated by the unfolding drama. She had always been the peacekeeper in the family, the one who could diffuse any situation. But this time, she felt powerless. Sarah visited Adam at the station, pleading with him to understand his father's intentions. But Adam was too hurt to listen. The rift between father and son seemed too wide to bridge. Back at home, Robert began to question his actions. Had he gone too far? He had only wanted to protect his son, to force him to confront his future. As the situation escalated, local authorities became involved. The district attorney, a friend of the Hale family, had to consider the legal implications of Robert's actions. Was this a case of a father going too far, or was it something more serious? The DA knew that prosecuting Robert could destroy his career, but ignoring the incident could set a dangerous precedent. The town was torn. Some residents supported Robert, believing that tough love was necessary to steer Adam in the right direction. Others were horrified by what they saw as an abuse of power. Adam's high school also became involved in the controversy. His teachers and peers were shocked by the news. Some students sided with Adam, viewing him as a victim of his father's overreach. Others believed that Robert's drastic actions were justified. The school administration had to tread carefully, offering counseling to Adam while trying to maintain order among the student body. News outlets from neighboring towns and cities began covering the story. Reporters camped outside the Hale residence, eager for any new developments. Robert was painted as either a concerned father or a tyrannical cop while Adam was seen as either a troubled teen or a victim of his father's power trip. In the midst of the chaos, an unexpected ally emerged: Robert's former partner, Detective Lisa Moore. Lisa had known Robert for years and understood the pressures he faced. She reached out to the Hale family, offering her support. Lisa believed that Robert's actions, though extreme, came from a place of love. She urged Adam to see the situation from his father's perspective. One evening, Lisa convinced Adam to have a heart-to-heart conversation with his father. She arranged for the two to meet in a neutral setting, away from the police station and their home. It was a tense meeting, but for the first time, Adam and Robert were able to speak openly about their feelings. Robert explained his fears for Adam's future, while Adam expressed his sense of betrayal. During their conversation, Adam revealed something that stunned his father. He had been secretly struggling with severe anxiety and depression. The pressure to make a life-changing decision had been too much for him, and he had shut down as a result. Robert was shocked and devastated to learn that his son had been suffering in silence. He realized that his tough love approach had only made things worse. Robert was overwhelmed with guilt after learning the truth. He apologized to Adam, acknowledging that he had failed to see the signs of his son's struggle. The arrest, which he had thought would push Adam to make a decision, had instead deepened his son's pain. Robert vowed to do whatever it took to support Adam and help him heal. It was a turning point in their relationship. In the days that followed, Robert and Adam began the slow process of rebuilding trust. They started attending family therapy sessions together where they worked through their issues and learned how to communicate more effectively. Sarah joined them, determined to keep their family intact. It wasn't easy, but for the first time in months, they were making progress. As the Hale family worked to heal, the community began to rally around them. Those who had been critical of Robert's actions started to see the situation in a new light. The revelation of Adam's mental health struggles prompted discussions about the pressures faced by young people today. Local organizations even started mental health awareness campaigns, inspired by the Hale family's experience. Robert spent many sleepless nights reflecting on his actions. He couldn't believe how close he had come to losing his son, not to external dangers, but to his own misguided attempts to control the situation. He realized that being a father wasn't about enforcing rules or making decisions for his children. It was about guiding them, supporting them, and being there when they needed him most. Adam's school, recognizing the importance of mental health, decided to take action. They introduced new programs aimed at supporting students' emotional well-being. These initiatives included counseling services, stress management workshops, and peer support groups. The administration also worked closely with the Hale family to ensure that Adam received the help he needed to navigate his struggles. With the support of his family and community, Adam slowly began to find his way. He started exploring his interests, eventually discovering a passion for environmental science. The pressure to make a decision about his future was lifted, and he felt free to pursue his goals at his own pace. For the first time in a long time, Adam felt hopeful about what lay ahead. The healing process was long and challenging, but the Hale family faced it together. They learned to lean on each other, finding strength in their bond. Robert, in particular, made it his mission to be a more supportive and understanding father. He attended every therapy session with Adam, determined to be there for his son every step of the way. Just as things were beginning to settle down, an unexpected twist shook the Hale family once more. During a routine checkup, Robert was diagnosed with a serious heart condition. The news was a shock, but the family, strengthened by past challenges, faced it together. Robert's diagnosis forced him to rethink his life. He realized, just as he had pressured Adam to make tough choices, he now had to make his own. But this time he approached it with patience and understanding. The family rallied around him, supporting him through his treatment. Adam, once uncertain of his future, stepped up, helping his father navigate the medical system and staying positive through it all. Robert had to choose between risky surgery or lifelong medication. With his family's support, he opted for surgery. It was a defining moment, showing him that the hardest decisions are best made together. The surgery was successful and Robert's health improved. The experience strengthened the Hale family, teaching them that being present for each other mattered more than anything. Robert and Adam both learned valuable lessons. Robert understood that being a father was about guidance, not control, while Adam realized the importance of seeking help. Their experiences didn't just change them, it also impacted their community. Conversations around mental health grew, leading to real change. The Hales didn't just heal themselves, they helped heal their town, leaving behind a legacy of compassion. Robert's controversial actions had sparked a much-needed discussion. His drastic measures to protect Adam led to lasting change, not just for his family, but for the entire community. His legacy wasn't about his role as a cop, but the lessons of love, responsibility, and understanding he left behind. As Adam prepared to graduate, he looked back with gratitude. A terrifying experience had turned into one of growth and discovery. With his father's support, he felt ready to face the world, no longer afraid to make decisions, knowing he had the strength to handle whatever came his way. The bond between Robert and Adam was unbreakable. They had faced hardships and come out stronger. Standing together, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as a team. Forgiveness hadn't been easy, but it was necessary. Adam struggled to forgive his father for the arrest, and Robert had to forgive himself for his mistakes. Through therapy and open communication, they rebuilt trust, strengthening their relationship. Adam, now free from pressure, pursued his passion for environmental science. He chose to study environmental policy, driven by the desire to make a positive impact. It gave him a sense of direction and confidence about his future. For Robert, the emotional toll of the past year made him question his role as a police officer. He realized that the stress of the job had blinded him to what mattered most, his family. After deep reflection, he decided to retire. Retirement wasn't an end, but a new beginning. Robert wanted to help his community in a different way. Instead of enforcing the law, he dedicated himself to mental health advocacy, determined to change perceptions. He joined organizations focused on raising awareness, speaking at schools and community events, sharing his story, and encouraging early intervention. His efforts started meaningful conversations, breaking the stigma surrounding mental health, especially in law enforcement. Robert's approach was simple: education and open dialogue. Many in his community still saw mental health as a taboo subject, but he worked to change that. His story resonated with people, inspiring them to seek help before reaching a breaking point. Over time, his work made a difference, as more individuals opened up about their struggles, knowing they were not alone.